Hello, welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. I'm your host, Nikki Wollman. In 2007, Chief Rabbi Warren Goldstein approached then Minister of Education, Naledi Pandor, with the idea of creating a Bill of Responsibilities aligned to the Bill of Rights to be taught to children in South African schools. Since then, Rabbi Goldstein has championed this project through the National Religious Leaders Forum in conjunction with the Department of Education. Makhoarane School in Soweto recently became the first school to adopt the bill with the involvement of all South Africa.
The Bill of Responsibilities is an educational document, a document of inspiration. It's not a legal document. It's based on the Bill of Rights, and that each right comes with a responsibility. And the Bill of Responsibilities takes each one of those rights, like the right to dignity is the responsibility to treat each person with dignity. And it goes into what that means on a practical level. So it's really about changing the world through saying it's not just the rights of what I can take, but the responsibilities of what I can give.
Today we're making history here at the school. It's the first in Gauteng where a school has adopted the Bill of Responsibility. So as you can see, today we are launching what the teachers at the school have been learning regarding the Bill of Responsibility.
I had approached ORT to get involved in this, knowing that they do already teacher training and training in schools, and realizing that we need to bring NGOs in to implement this project and to help get it off the ground. And so today is really an exciting day for us all, because it's the real start of the practical implementation of this project.
That's a meeting to attend in about 10 minutes, so please open page 26.
We were very privileged to be approached by the Chief Rabbi together with the National Religious Forum to take this initiative of the Bill of Responsibilities and incorporate it with the schools and the projects that we're working with. ORT-SA has been involved in disadvantaged areas in math, science, technology training, and when we were introduced to the Bill of Responsibilities, it made a lot of sense for us to incorporate it in the whole school development program that we introduced to the schools.
Well, for us at ORT-SA, it was quite easy because we've been working with this school for many years, and we decided that was just a natural progression for us to do the Bill of Responsibilities with these teachers.
What we're doing with the schools is that we will run training where we look at how we bring it into the school's policy, the school's vision, mission, the school's ethos, the school's culture, and then we look at how to incorporate into the curriculum delivery.
We take them through the manual step by step. There's a section in the manual that gives the teachers lesson plans, and then they just had to go back to their learners and implement what we did in the training.
All the teachers were receptive of it. I think the reason maybe is that we all went for training, so we didn't have any problems implementing it.
So we need to train everybody in such a way that they take it upon themselves personally, as well as to be able to impart the knowledge to their learners and other teachers. Because this is something that everybody's got to adopt and accept and live by.
The Bill of Responsibilities means that people must unite, they must be one, and you must treat others equally.
If you want to be respected by your community, friends, parents, and everybody around you, you have to treat them with respect and compassion. So remember,
it has the endorsement and the backing of all of the faith communities of South Africa via the leadership of the National Religious Leaders Forum, has the backing of the South African government, so it has an incredible legitimacy, political, philosophical legitimacy, and I think that's the real power of this document, that it can actually change the face of the country.
We believe an investment could be done to help young people to be educated by educators who have been skilled properly in those areas which are normally difficult areas for young people. So we see it as an investment for the future, an investment for our country, and a social responsibility for us as Peregrine to contribute to our community.
The kind of children we raise in South Africa today will be the country that we live in 10 years' time and in 20 years' time. So that's where you have to start. And if we can raise a new generation of South African children based on values of responsibility, that will transform the country in which we live. And that's the real power of it. Of course, it all depends on the implementation. A good idea is just that, a good idea. It needs to be implemented.
We are looking to expand, so as many schools as possible that approach us, that want to be involved with the bill, we will be happy to work with them.
Education is the key to success. Without education, we are nothing.
When the Israelites accepted the 10 Commandments from God at Mount Sinai, they committed to following a moral code of behavior. Today, we continue to explore the meaning behind the 10 Commandments, with particular reference to the 10th, Thou shalt not covet, and how this affects our relationship with others.
The 10th, final of the 10 Commandments, do not covet. Do not be jealous. Now you may ask, well, how can God command us about jealousy? Jealousy is a human emotion. It's a natural human emotion. People feel jealous of each other all the time. What is that commandment about, and how can God possibly expect us to keep it? So one of the commentators from the Middle Ages, the Ibn Ezra, explains that the foundation of this commandment is really to be understood about what do we need in life. So, for example, he points out, do you think that an animal is jealous of a bird because a bird can fly? No, because a bird was given wings to fly, a fish was given the capacity to swim, and an antelope was given the capacity to run on the ground. Each one of these animals has a different gift because that's how they were created by God. They are given what they need. And he says the key to being able to keep this commandment is to understand that everything we have is from God. And in fact, it links the 10th commandment to the first. The first commandment is to believe in God. That lays the foundation for the 10th commandment. Because if you really believe in God, and that God is a personal God, and that He's interested in our lives, and He allocates us what we need, then what I have is what I need. What you have is what you need in order to do what you need to do in this world. Each one of us is a soul sent from the heavens into a body to go and perform a particular mission on this earth of doing good that only we can do as unique individuals. And God gives each one of us what we need in order to do our mission. And what we have is what we meant to have, and what we need is what we meant to need. The fact that somebody else has more doesn't cause me to have less. Whether it's in any field, whether it's material possessions or talent or blessing in life, we often are not in control of what we get, but what we are in control of is how we respond to that. And that's why this was included in one of the 10 Commandments, because obviously we have 613 commandments. These 10 were given particular prominence, not to the exclusion of the others. We have to keep all of them, but they were given a certain prominence to convey important philosophies about the world. The important philosophy of this is everything we have in life is what we need, and that we must use that to do good, to fulfill the commandments, to do good deeds, to help people, to reach out to everybody. That's what we need to do, and we need to keep on looking. Am I using what God gave me to the fullest? And only look at what I've got, not look at somebody else's God. That will ultimately lead to happiness. Faith in God doesn't mean we mustn't try. A very important value of Judaism is that we all have to do our best. God expects us to do our best to improve our health, to acquire the possessions that we need in order to live. And we need to put in that effort, whether it's physical effort or whether it's praying to God. We have to put in that effort, and He wants us to put in that effort. But after we've put in all that effort, the results and the product ultimately is in the hands of God. And that's part of what faith is. Faith isn't saying, listen, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to sit back and lie on the couch, and if I'm meant to be wealthy, I will, and if I'm meant to be poor, I will. No, God wants us to actually get involved and do our best in everything that we need to do. But after we've put in our best, to realize that the product and the results are in God's hands. The input is in our hands, the results are in His hands. And that gives us the peace of mind, because we don't have to say, well, what if, should I, could I? You do your best, and you pray, and you do your best in the world to do what you need to do in order to get the things you need to get, and then you sit back and you say, now it's in God's hands. That's part of what faith is. Then you can make peace with your life, because it's not what it could have, should have been, what it is. One of the greatest and deepest sense of frustration and resentments build from the feeling, it could have or should have been different. When we can feel, truly feel and appreciate and connect with God and say it couldn't have or shouldn't have been different because I did my best and this is how it turned out, then we can make peace with what has happened in our lives.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and please do join us again next time. And we'd like to hear from you, so do join our Facebook page at Spirit Sister Productions Network. As always, from me, Nikki, and the entire team, shalom and have a safe and peaceful week.